the question needs to be asked, like, why do we have to keep shoehorning interesting novel concepts into horror? Like, if like, because that's the thing with Haunted PS1 as well. Like, there are a lot of interesting sort of game ideas and things that came out of it, but it keeps having to be shoehorned into horror. You keep having to call things horror so that people will actually buy them, and I think, you know, that is what it is. That's been a consistent thing across the years of, like, horror tends to sell better, whatever. But if you're
like,
really looking at this,
why is horror the genre where people are allowed to experiment a little bit more versus, you know, other types of blockbusters and things of that nature?
It has a built-in appeal, I think, but you can't call it like a legitimate, like, oh, this is a flowering of new talent or whatever. If they're just making horror movies, like, it has to be.
The reason why horror does well is because you can make it on with $5, and like 5 million like metal guys with goth girlfriends who have Etsy stores will see it. That's like the main reason. Like, it puts butts in the seat. It's they're like a very, like, fuck, what was what's that fucking clown movie everyone likes that I'm never gonna like? Oh, fuck, what is it?
Terrifier or whatever.
Terrifier. Yeah. That shit is like you'll go in there and it is like just a crowd of like the nicest people who are bringing their children or something to that fucking movie, and you're like, wow, you guys are really into this. Good luck, you know. And like, I don't know. I'm not anti-horror. I love horror to death. It's just like, I wish that, like, we're going to have to just keep lying and saying stuff is horror just to trick people into seeing interesting movies. And it's depressing a little bit.
It's like the endless version of, you know, those 1950s movies like the Blob or the Invasion of the Body Snatchers or whatever. It's like where, like, it's considered socially acceptable to deal with whatever taboos or anxieties or fears
like
that
social
people
and
have.
cultural anxieties. Yeah.
In that form, people who are more conservative consider that culturally accessible, whereas, like, stuff that is more confrontational or, you know, takes a different, more explicit about that, or isn't doing that within the context of this genre, I think has a much tougher time.